Mellow greetings, Tubians, RononTyr here, and let's fanfic Story of Seasons Friends of Mineral Town. Spring 25, Year 1, Wednesday. Sunny. I got straight down to tend to Chook and Crispin this morning. Gave them lots of pats, collected their eggs, and let them out. They look so happy running around in the yard. It's an amazing feeling. I really need to build this habit, though. I tended to the crops and ran. He was feeling playful, which made it hard to give him his brushies. I'm glad, though. It really does make me smile to see him running around the fields while I'm tending the crops, or clearing weeds, or rocks, or wood things, leftover tree bits. What are they called? Stumps. Yes, stumps. I do worry that he might end up growing a little wild, but so far he's been responding just fine to my attempts to train him. And he does come when I whistle, but I've got to be relatively close to him, and I don't know if that's just because he's being a teenage horse and, screw authority, or if he doesn't hear me, because I don't whistle very loudly, I'm going to admit. Or maybe it's just a horse thing. Maybe they're not supposed to come when I whistle. One of these days I'll work it out. I decided to go visit Cliff after my chores. I needed that moment of comfort, of silence, and of chocolate. I really do wish he'd open up a bit more, but I guess he will in his own time. And I should know you can't rush these things. The more pressure somebody puts on you, the less likely you are to speak. I just need to accept and let him be. And use this experience to understand why other people find it so frustrating trying to talk to me sometimes. After saying goodbye to Cliff, I went to the smithy to get my hoe upgraded, ahead of the next season's planting. I figure I'm going to have to re-till a lot of soil to plant everything out, and I wanted to make sure that I had the most efficient tool I could manage to do it. Or I'm just obsessed with upgrading things at the moment. It could be one or the other. I really do hope it rains soon, though. It'll take at least a day for Saibara to upgrade my watering can, and I can't be without that unless it's raining. And the crops won't water themselves as much as I would love to invent some form of self-watering crop. Oh wait, they have those. They're called cactuses. Cacti? Cactuses. I stopped by and said hello to Rick on my way home. Wanted to see if I could garner any kind of tips for chicken care just by watching what he did. Yes, that was the whole reason. Chickens. I came home after foraging and making my offering. Kept working on the fields and gathering materials. I'm getting fairly close to my goal. I'm going to be ordering the upgrade for the house soon. And then, kitchen. And you know what happens after we get a kitchen journal? Not only do I start filling you full of delicious recipes put together by experimentation with all the crops and things that I'm growing, we are going to have the freshest, wholest food, but it means I can eat something that's not a bamboo shoot. I really should go fishing again soon. Kitchen! Ugh, curses. It's meant to be sunny again tomorrow. Night journal. Spring 26, Year 1, Thursday, sunny. I had the weirdest dream last night, journal. All of the guys I've met in town have me in the centre of this circle out in a field somewhere. I don't know if I've been there or if I was just making up this place. It didn't look familiar at all. But in the centre of the circle, they were pelting me with cookies. And it hurt. I don't know if you've ever been hit by a high-velocity cookie, but ow! And for some reason I kept begging for more. I was asking for specific flavours, and And then they all stepped back, and suddenly all the girls were there, and they were strewing tea leaves all over me, kind of like they were throwing confetti at a wedding, only confetti made of tea leaves. And then I woke up. I don't know if this means anything. I don't know if I want to know if it means anything. It was weird. It was really weird. I'm gonna go do my chores. I'll write to you later. I tried tending to rain in the crops before I went to the chickens today. I felt really, really guilty about it though, so I'm probably not gonna keep that order in the future. I headed to the smithy to get my hoe, and I ran smack dab into a sweet little moment. Marie was talking to Cybara when Grey heard himself. She patched him up and left not long after. I think she was blushing. She is so totally sweet on him, Journal. It's so easy to see. I wonder if he can see it. I wonder if he returns the sentiment. Should I say something? Maybe to Marie she seems to be, but that wouldn't be fair, and no, I think it's best if I just stay out of it. Ah, young love. Anyway, turns out that the smithy is closed on Thursdays, and I'd completely forgotten about that because I am an idiot. So I went down and I saw Duke and Mana instead and visited with them for a while. Mana, I swear it, she could talk the ear of a statue. Once you get that woman going, it is just non-stop. It's amazing and terrifying all at the same time. So I then popped in to see Cliff, because after hanging out with Mana, sitting in silence was something of a soothing balm to my brain and my soul. Definitely much needed. And we sat, and there was chocolate. And all was good with the world. After my daily trip up the mountain, I decided to treat myself to dinner at the inn. I met a gent named Basil on the way there. He's some kind of botanist. I don't know where he fits in the town structure. I've not seen him before this at all. Maybe he was out doing botany and stuff. And I got to the inn, and I must have arrived too late because Dudley had stopped serving. I could still smell all the wonderful food that they serve in there. Even the growling of my stomach wouldn't turn his heart. So I hung out for a bit, said hello to a few people, and came home. Next time I need to plan better. I can't live on forage for much longer, and I know I'm close to being able to get the upgrade, but it was a weird day and all. It started with that weird and freaky dream. It ended with me staring at a bamboo shoot and not quite crying. Ooh. Journal, it's gonna rain tomorrow. We can get the watering can taken care of. Woohoo! I'm gonna head to bed, Journal. Night.
So there I was, on another beautiful spring morning. Not that I could go out and enjoy it.
I absolutely had to go and thank Mr. Cybara for the repairs he had completed on my binding press. It works even better than new, and there is no way I could complete my book without it. To think, Erebeth may have been stranded forever in my head.
I was at the forge, like always, trying to work out what it was I was meant to be learning in Grandpa's latest lesson.
It was a lovely walk, although I recognized that everything in this town is close. As I entered the smithy, I could hear the ringing of hammer on metal. Mr. Cybara completing more of his fabulous work, no doubt.
He'd forgotten to tell me how to do what he wanted me to, again, and decided to shout at me for not knowing. So I was mostly trying to write out the lesson in one piece.
Goodness! It was Gray who was hammering away on a piece under his grandfather's watchful eye. I couldn't help but to straighten my skirts and check for any obvious ink blots. It wouldn't do for him to see me in a state of disarray. He was not likely to see me at all, though, given his concentration. But there was a chance he would look up, and our eyes could meet for a moment, and then he would cast his hammer aside and... Ugh! Get a grip, Marie!
Then Marie comes in and starts thanking Grandpa for a printing press or something he'd fixed up for her. I tried to focus on work, but they were talking right next to me. It was hard not to pick up on their conversation.
Mr. Cybara is such a lovely fellow. He was pleased that I had taken the time to thank him and offered to assist me in future if it was needed. Such a lovely fellow. Such amazing craftsmanship. I gush, and I'm repeating myself, but it's all true.
I don't know what happened, really. All I know is I began to see red when Grandpa started flirting with her, and I tried to use it to go harder at the metal, but then I slipped and hit myself.
Gray must have been distracted by something. I hope it wasn't me, or, do I hope the opposite? He slipped in his work and let out a cry of pain. I immediately spun to see what had befallen him, careful to neither blush nor make direct eye contact.
I tried to brush it off, but Marie insisted on bandaging things up. Turns out she's pretty good with band-aids, as well as books.
He had cut his hand, the poor thing. I could tell it was paining him considerably, though he put on a brave face. Luckily, I had my emergency kit on me, and after some grumbling on his part, convinced him to let me patch him up. Such firm skin.
Grandpa went off at me for being so clumsy, but Marie took it really well and just brushed it off. She must know what she's doing with that first aid stuff. My hand feels so much better now.
It felt good to be able to help him, to touch him, to heal him. Oh, good grief. I sound like one of my heroines. What has come over me? I have known Gray since we were kids, laughing together on Mother's Hill. Why is it that all of a sudden I'm noticing his skin and smile and those broad, strong shoulders? Maybe I should book a checkup with Doctor?
The band-aid's still on my hand now. When I look at it, I remember how gentle Marie was with me.
He smiled at me and said he would come to the library sometime. I'll need to clean. Can't have anyone see it in its current state. Not fit for entertaining in the least. What a lovely day this is. I must begin.
Oh yeah, for icing on the cake, Brenna was there too. So now both of the girls I regularly talk to know what a klutz I am.
Brenna was standing just inside the smithy. I'm sure she could see how flustered I was, but she just smiled and nodded. I could have hugged her for understanding. My heart is all fluttery.
And the most annoying thing of all, I still don't get what Grandpa wanted me to learn.
So I'll clean up, set my study to rights, print up my current manuscript. I wonder if Gray drinks tea. I should lay some in just in case. Oh, and cookies! But no, we might get mice.